Hi, I'm Sharisa Jackson, the owner of Daily Dental Solutions. We are located in Oklahoma, but we service all over. We're in the office Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Fridays, 6 a.m. until noon. This video is designed for those who are interested in doing temporary work for us. We are a temporary agency for the dental field. We only do dentistry. We have temporary dental assistants, front office, dental hygienists, and dentists. We have credentials on file for all of our temporaries, and if you are a temporary for us, you will be required to fill out certain forms and provide certain information to us. Once you become a temporary and we have everything on file, we will call you, as offices call us needing temporaries, we will call you, Dr. So-and-so needs a temporary, this is where they're located, this is their hours of operation, are you available for that or not? We don't assume that since you've told us you're available on Mondays that you're gonna be available every single Monday. We do want to speak with you. We also have an app that we use that we can communicate with you through the app. So we do have set fees in place so that there's not a whole lot of room for negotiating or problems. We do realize, however, that sometimes certain areas, the cost of living is higher and those fees may need to be adjusted for certain areas. In that situation, we will discuss those with you before we send you out for any assignments. We want to know what you're wanting as far as possibly travel expenses or driving, or if there's a higher hourly rate that you're needing because of the area that you live in. But we will discuss all of that when you're going through onboarding through us. So for us to have a good working relationship, we have to be able to communicate with you, and we need to know that we can count on you and rely on you and depend on you. We have to have reliable, dependable temporaries so that offices can rely and depend on us. We do have multiple means for you to communicate with us. You can call and speak with one of us. You can use our app that we have. You can send us emails. We have information posted on our website. We have a temps page on our website for information and forms that you may need. Some of those forms are also on our app, but we do have to be able to communicate with you. We have to have reliable, dependable temporaries for us to get offices covered. When we don't get offices covered, they are very upset with us. They're very disappointed and they're not real happy with our service. That doesn't just affect you, that affects all of our temporaries, and that affects the reputation of our business. So we do want to make sure you understand that if there is a problem with an assignment, you need to communicate with us as soon as possible. If it's within 24 hours of an assignment and there's a problem, you do need to call. Don't depend on an app or an email or a private message through an app, because technology sometimes has glitches. We need to speak with you, because if it's something within 24 hours, we want to get on top of it or get on the ball and try to get it taken care of as quickly as possible, and either try to find someone to replace you or make sure we've given the doctor's office enough notice that they're not scrambling at the last minute to cancel patients because we had a temporary that had an emergency or that can't be there and we can't find someone to replace you. So we do need to speak with you, and we do need to have an open communication between all of us. You need to communicate with us. We don't want you communicating directly with a dental office if there's a problem. You are scheduled through us, and all scheduling does go through Daily Dental Solutions. So if there's a problem with your schedule and you keeping an assignment, you do need to speak with someone at Daily Dental Solutions. If you give us enough notice, you can use the app or an email to contact us. But if it's within 24, 48 hours of an assignment, we want to speak with you, because we want to make sure we know what's going on, and if we need to replace you, we need to start making calls and trying to get replacements for that office. So we do ask that you make sure you communicate with us on a regular basis. I know texting is easy and fun, and sending a message is a whole lot easier, but if we're closed and you want to send a message, that's fine. But again, if it's something to do, if there's a problem with an assignment, we do want to speak with you. That is our policy on that. But once you start temping, you will find that offices, they love you. They typically call and request you. They don't want new people all the time. Most of our temporaries stay busy by request. We don't have a lot of problems with people not being able to keep their assignments, but we do want you to know if there is a problem, we need to know as soon as possible, because scheduling goes through us. And if you're not available, we need to know so that we can find someone for them. These offices have patients scheduled and they're depending on us to have help there for them. So we need to know if there is a problem, and we need to know that you will communicate with us if there is a problem. So communication is the key. Teamwork makes the dream work is actually very true. When we send you out on an assignment to a dental office, you are their employee for the day. That is how our agreement reads with the dental office. You're their employee for the day. You need to be familiar with the State Dental Practice Act. Any state that you're working in, you need to stay within the guidelines of the rules and regulations and the state laws of the Board of Dentistry in your state. We also want to make sure we have all of your credentials on file. If your name changes or anything updates, we need to have up-to-date copies of everything for your file at all times. So if anything changes, you need to make sure you send us over new copies of everything. We don't require assistants to carry malpractice insurance. If you do have it, great, send us a copy. We do have some offices that will request it. Same with hygienists. We don't require malpractice or liability, but we do recommend it, especially if you're doing any advanced procedures. Just a cover your backside kind of thing. I would think that it would be something you would be looking into if especially if you're doing any advanced procedures, lasers, local nitrous, anything like that, just to protect your license and to protect yourself if something were to go wrong. It is a very good idea to have it. For dentists, we do require every dentist has either liability or malpractice insurance policy on file with us. For hygienists, we highly recommend it. Dental assistants, we don't require it, but we do recommend it for some situations, especially I know that any dental assistants that have DNB or go through DNB do have it. So we do have some government situations where they've asked for it for like Indian tribes and medical clinics that are Medicaid or the glided scale for payment. A lot of times they will ask for a liability policy for anyone that comes in. As far as pay goes, we do have set fees in place, but we do realize that certain areas, those fees may not be what you would normally get because the cost of living is higher. There is a clause in our fee schedule that states certain areas there may be more, the fees may be higher depending on the cost of living for that area. Or if you're driving very far, we do have a clause that states, this temporary may be compensated if they're driving outside of the area. For driving fees, we do have you look at the distance between your home and that dental office and calculate what it is you're needing for compensation for travel, and that is a separate fee. In case the schedule were to fall apart and they were going to send you home early, it wouldn't affect your driving or your gas money for the day or your driving fee for the day. So that you would still be compensated for driving a certain distance no matter what. And as far as fees go, we do have a 5-hour minimum that is due. Sometimes we get half days. Wednesdays and Fridays tend to be the more popular days for half days, especially if it's a private office that's open 5 days. They may have a half day on Wednesday or a half day on Friday. They may only be open 3.5, 4 hours, like 8 to noon, or we've had some 8:30 to noon or 8 to 12:30, those kind of things. They may not be open 5 hours, but that is your guarantee for the day. We also, if they send you home early, 5 hours would be your minimum for the day. That's your guarantee for the day. The only time we wouldn't hold them to the 5-hour minimum is if you're scheduled to work a set amount of time and you had maybe an emergency and had to leave. They would only pay you for the time that you're there if you don't complete your assignment. So, hopefully nothing happens, but kids have been hurt or sick at school and a parent has to leave and it could be a temporary. So in that situation, we're going to try to find somebody to finish out the rest of the day for you to cover that assignment. That office would only owe you the hours that you worked if you weren't able to complete the assignment. We do have assignment slips that you would fill out for all of your assignments. They are now digital. We do have some old paper copies. We have some, we've had them for like over 20 years. And some people don't want to stop using them, but we are going to try to phase them out eventually. If you still want to use paper copies, you can use the paper copies. We do ask that you send a picture or the actual assignment slip in weekly if you do the old forms. On the slip, the actual paper slip, is an email at the top. In the top right-hand corner, you can take a picture of the entire slip and send it by email, or you can, our address is also on the top of the slip, and you can put it in an envelope and mail it to us, but we do need those in weekly. That does affect billing, or if there's a problem with your payments from an office, we've got the slip on file and we can get it to payroll or accounts payable, or to some of the offices, we have the direct numbers to their accountants to make sure it's on its way, it didn't get lost. We do have a lot, some are still doing things by mail. A lot of our offices are paying by direct deposit, so if something did get missed, they can, if it's direct deposit, they can get it sent out really quick. Whereas if it's lost in the mail, they have to cancel the check and reissue a new one and mail a new one. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get those, but we do have direct numbers to contact and make sure everything is taken care of, and we take care of all of that for you. Again, all communication goes through us. There's not any need for you to call a dental office. If there's a problem, you need to let us know and we will handle it for you. Once you accept an assignment, we do ask that you keep it. We do expect you to keep it unless there's an emergency. If you cancel an assignment within 48 hours, regardless of what the reason is, we do ask for an official excuse. If you're sick enough to miss work, you're sick enough to go to the doctor. If you've had a death in the family, you can send us an obituary. If you've got car problems, you can send us a repair bill or an accident bill or anything like that. Again, scheduling and canceling goes through us. We do have a cancellation policy. If an office is going to cancel you, they have to do it the business day before by 10 a.m. If it's after 10 a.m., we will let them know that they owe you a 5-hour minimum, and we will be charging them a cancellation fee. Most of the time when we give them that information, they will go ahead and have you come in for 5 hours, and we will let you know if the time has changed. But if an office is approaching you directly about scheduling, if they're wanting to add days, we need to be aware of it. But if they're canceling you, you are not canceled unless you hear from us, so that we don't put you in a bad situation. If they tell you they no longer need you, just let them know until you hear from us. You are scheduled to be there and you will be at your assignment. So if by chance they're trying to get around the cancellation policy, which sometimes does happen, you can just let them know they need to contact us, and we will remind them what the cancellation policy is. It is in their agreement that they signed, and it is on the paperwork that we send them. That way you're not the bad guy. They can be mad at us. They should be aware of the cancellation policy before we ever sent you into their office anyway. So you don't have to be put in an awkward situation. Just let them know they need to contact us, and we will handle it from there. But they will owe you a 5-hour minimum if they do not cancel on time. And we will either have you show up that day and drop it off, unless they're having you go ahead and come in and work for 5 hours. Usually if they're paying for 5 hours, they're gonna have you come in and work for 5 hours. But we'll usually just have you go in and either take in a paper slip or fill in the digital slip and have them sign it and send it in, and it's sent to them. The digital form does, you put in your email, the office puts in their email, and when you hit submit, you get a copy, they get a copy, and we get a copy automatically. So that's the nice thing about the digital forms, which is why we're trying to get away from the paper forms. Whenever we send you on assignments, we do want you to stay out of office politics and gossip. It does happen everywhere. We also don't want you giving out your phone numbers because we want scheduling and canceling to go through us. We don't want them having an extra means to try to bypass us or to contact you directly. So please don't give out your personal cell numbers. They can You can give out your email because it is on the digital assignment slips that we use. That's not a problem. If for any reason they contact you on email or by email or on social media, please let us know if they're contacting you about assignments, and we'll handle it from there. That is a violation of their agreement, and if you agree to anything, that's a violation of your agreement with us. So please don't accept any assignments or discuss assignments with these offices directly. When we send you on assignments, we do want you to stay out of office politics and gossip. It does happen everywhere. You're a temporary. If you have a slow time, find something to do, offer to help in other areas. As a hygienist, I would clean my operatory, stock everything, sharpen instruments. As an assistant, I would make sure everything's set and ready to go for all the appointments for the day, clean up in the extra areas, work in sterilization, do any extra things that you need to be done to make sure you can work as efficiently as possible. And once you've got all of your things done, if you're still slow, go offer to help file or help in the front, or ask them what needs to be done around the office. You are being paid and you are expected to stay busy if possible. Please don't refer any of your friends, family, or colleagues to any of the offices that we are placing you in. If they are looking for work and you think they're a good fit for any of these dental offices that we're sending you to, that needs to go through us. Dentists and dental offices are not to ask you for information on people who are looking for temporary or permanent work. If one of our temporaries refers anyone to them, they still have to pay our fees, so it is best that everything just goes through us. Or if an office offers you a permanent position, that is fine. If you are interested in the permanent position, we need to know about it. You do need to contact us. There is paperwork involved for you as well as the dentist to sign. If an office wants to hire you on a permanent basis, one, if you have any assignments, you have to complete those, or we have to have enough time to get you replaced. If we are shorthanded, you are expected to keep those. If we can replace you, we will, and we will try to get you in that office as quickly as possible as a permanent employee. But when we are shorthanded and you are booked, you are scheduled, you are expected to keep your scheduled dates. But we do send over paperwork for the dentist office. The doctor will need to sign it. You do, and you will need to sign something as well that you're accepting that position through us with that office. They pay fees for 6 months. If it doesn't work out, they only pay fees for as long as you're there. You may get into a situation where you loved temping in this office, but when you go on as a permanent employee, things may change, or vice versa. They may have loved you as a temp, but things didn't work out and it wasn't a great fit like everybody thought it would be. Either they let you go or you give your notice and leave. If you don't make it the full 6 months, which is 180 days, then they only pay for however long you're there. But we do need to know, if you have a cell phone and you keep it on you while you're working, we do ask that you keep it on silent. I do realize that some people have children or family obligations and they want it on them. So if you need to check it, it does need to be quick and brief, and it does need to be put in your pocket and on silent, or put somewhere that, your purse or something along those lines. If you have it on you, it does definitely need to be on silent, and you do not need to be on your phone while you're working. So if you are one who likes to scroll through social media or any of those kind of things, that is not done when you're on a temporary assignment for us. We do ask that you be professional and you keep your phone up. If you need to check it, it needs to be short and sweet.